to Education, Leadership, and Beyond, Surviving and Thriving. My name is Andrew Murata, host of the show, and thank you for tuning in, everybody. We are live here on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, proud member of the Education Podcast Network, Voice Ed Radio Canada, wherever you are taking in your podcasts. We appreciate you tuning in. Leave us a question, leave us a comment, and certainly a positive review. It's Sunday. I'm here in the home office, and in just a couple minutes, we are going to meet David Pendergast, coming to us from Utah. David is the current president of the Utah Elementary Association of Principals. We became fast friends when I had a chance to visit there last year. So we will meet David in just a couple minutes. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. A quick word from our sponsor, IXL. If you're an educator, you know about IXL, and here they are with a quick word. Hey, friends, Andrew Murata here, Surviving and Thriving. And I want to thank today's sponsor for the podcast, IXL. Discover the power of data-driven instruction in your school with IXL. It is the most widely used online learning and teaching platform K through 12. It gives you everything you need to maximize learning, from a comprehensive curriculum to meaningful school-wide data. And IXL's diagnostic is research proven to be a strong predictor of performance on standardized assessments, including NWEA, MAPS, STAR, iLearn, just to name a few. And the best part, everything I just mentioned is all integrated into one platform, so you can simplify your ed tech tools. Visit IXL.com to lead your school towards data-driven excellence today. The link is in the show notes. And again, I want to thank IXL for sponsoring Education, Leadership, and Beyond. All right. Thank you, everybody. And let's get right to it. It is August 18th. And some of you are in school for 2 weeks. Some of you are in school for just a couple days, like David and his team in Utah. Or if you're here on the East Coast, you got a couple more weeks to Labor Day, and you're going to start. And every educator out there, whether you're a classroom teacher, whether you're a superintendent, or whether you're a principal, like David and I, you have a theme, right? You don't do the same thing every year, all the time. You have a theme. And what is that theme, right? What is it that people can rally around? We have selected a number over the years in Port Jervis. I enjoyed creating those with the teachers and the staff towards the end of last year. We have had a number of different ones. This is the Year was one of them. Creators of the Pride was another one. And I loved 2 years ago, my art teacher, she drew it in her interview. And it was called Full Steam Ahead Together. And we're a railroad town in Port Jervis. We were under construction. She kind of created that, and that was our theme. So it's important that we just don't repeat every year and just change the number. 23, 24, 24, 25. And I'm going to give the same speech in the same way. Create that theme. Give a slogan for people to rally around. Have it as your email tag. Have it at every part of your faculty meetings, your parent meetings. What is that theme? What's that rallying cry? I'm not saying you got to reinvent the wheel every year with a different program, but what's the theme? What's that focus point that we're going to use? And we put it on our staff picture, right? We put it on our staff picture there each and every year, in addition to all those other things I said. So I'm curious to hear what David's theme is this year. And enough of me chatting. Let's bring David into the program. Coming to us live from Utah, Layton, Utah. David Pendergast, everybody.
Hey, Andrew. It's good to see you again, my friend. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing great. Again, home office, David.
That's right.
Appreciate you coming on, making time on a Sunday. I had to move the date on my end, and David was very gracious to do that. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, and we're about to take some great advice that Abraham Lincoln gave and throw it right out the window when he said, "It's better to remain silent in thought of a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt."
I love it.
Well, here we go.
Well, this is David Pendergast, friend. Again, You meet somebody, right? I'm out in Utah. I don't really know the culture, the climate, and just had a warm smile, a nice handshake. And then I find out he's from Syracuse, New York. We became fast friends. David, I appreciate having you on the podcast. Tell us about yourself, David. You're the principal at Ellison Park Elementary, Layton, Utah. You opened school a few days ago.
Yeah.
How was your start? And introduce yourself here on the podcast.
Yeah. Here's a brief intro because I know we're going to get into stuff as we go on. But I became a principal back in 2007. This is my 4th elementary school. I've been at Ellison Park in Layton. We're part of the Davis School District. I've been at this school. This is my 5th year. This has been the best start of this particular school that we've had. And jumping into the whole theme piece, we went with together team. Together everyone achieves more. And we started with this baseball theme, and we really started just running off and all the information that we sent out to the teachers that was in the scouting report that we sent out in the middle of the summer. So we had that, and the opening after the opening faculty meeting, our luncheon was all like ballpark food, elevated, of course. So we had nachos, and we had Polish dogs and hot dogs and brats, and just fun things like that. Soft pretzels.
Cold beer at lunch.
We didn't do the cold beer. We didn't do the cold beer, but we did have some great gelato. Some Italian ice for everyone.
Nice.
So
tell me about forming that theme. Was that something you did over the summer? Did you do it at the end of last year? Like, where did that come from?
You know what? It was something that evolved as my assistant and I were talking about what are the things that we wanted to do, how we wanted to start the year, what are some thoughts and things that we could continue. And really, our focus has been on unity. We want unity not only for the children, but with the adults in the building. And my focus as a leader in the schools that I've been in has been threefold, really. One, we want quality instruction in the schools, right? Whether it's language arts or math or science, we want quality instruction that's happening. We want STEAM learning, the science, technology, engineering, the arts and mathematics happening, giving kids those exposure to different things, because sometimes that's where you find what your passion is, and the things that you love and things that you're good at is when you have that overall experience to it. And then from that social and emotional learning side, making connections. I think it's good for the kids to make those vertical connections instead of just being locked in. I'm in 2nd grade and all I see around me are my 2nd grade peers. But if I can get out and make connections with maybe an older kid or maybe a younger kid, that will help me emotionally and developmentally as well, as I learn more about the people who are around me. And even some of the adults who come into the building, they get locked into what they're doing. I've got my job, I'm doing this. And we're trying to make connections because we have 3 big neighborhoods kind of off of the main line of the school. And people get into their neighborhoods and then they get just stuck in their neighborhoods. That's where their grade level is. That's where everything is. And we want to build those connections across the faculty. So when we have our professional learning communities, we like to do it in the library all together. So we're all in the same room. We're getting to know each other. And if 3rd grade has a question about maybe a kid last year, 2nd grade's right there to help them. Or if they want to talk about curriculum at the next grade level going up or down, they can talk to each other about curriculum questions as well, because we're all working together as that team. But after, at the end of the faculty meeting, I held up a bright, white, shiny baseball. I said, okay, everyone, we're going to sign this baseball. And that's our commitment. That's our commitment this year, that we are going to work together to achieve more. We are going to focus on our quality instruction. We're going to give our students that STEAM learning, and we're going to help make connections, not just for the kids, but with each other. So we passed that ball around, and every faculty member had an opportunity to sign that team ball, and we're putting it in the faculty room.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That is awesome theme there. And you're certainly doing the team and your unity being together. That's great, David. Good for you.
Thank you. Like I said, my assistant was a part of it, because it takes a team for me too to kind of come up with this. I just don't pull it all out by myself.
Absolutely. you've been a principal since 2007, David. That's a long time in a leadership position. The weeks before school started, 10 days, 7 days, how did you gear up to that start, that you're ready, that you're fresh, and you're at your best self to kick off that year? How do you do that when you've been doing it so long?
My teaching background was in a special ed self-contained classroom. And I always had the mantra and really that core belief that every day the students deserve a second chance. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. Tomorrow, we're starting over. To give them that. Now, they may have some consequences from like a level system, that kind of take away some of the options that they have. But that was their choice. But as far as me and my attitudes towards them, my love for them, my giving them keeping their respect and that dignity, every day we had a fresh start. And they could prove themselves and make better choices. But we got to take care of what we did. And that's the same thing kind of coming in. I'm just kind of mentally preparing that, hey, we're going to all have a fresh start. It's going to be good. I like to hang out with my wife and talk through things and just relax with family. That kind of helps get me going, put me on that right path with my headspace. But I tell you, I'm already starting to live in next school year now. This one's up and going. So any ideas that are coming for next year, they're going into a OneNote file for next year. You start writing things down. Like, how can I have a better opening next year? What can we do differently? And my first day of summer vacation was, okay, let's start on opening faculty meeting. I've got some thoughts. I'll start putting some things together. And it's literally that first day without kids, putting things pen to paper, getting ready.
Yeah. It's nice when you get those ideas, you feel ready, you feel good, and then they can percolate a little bit, right? They can grow and, I'll add this, right? When you have some time. Good for you, David. You mentioned your wife, also a principal. Are you trading ideas at dinner? Like, are you talking about, hey, how was your meeting? How was my? Is it, or do you turn the principalship off?
Oh, it never's off. We might dial it down, but we never turn it off. We're always collaborating, always talking. Our schools are both in the Davis School District. We're both in the city of Layton, and we're neighboring schools. So on most days we carpool together unless we both have a meeting going in a different direction. We're carpool buddies, and that, so the ride down, we're talking about what's going on, what's your day, and I'm her sounding board, or she's my sounding board when we have something we need to run something by. But we also have people outside of our relationship that we reach things out, or bounce things off of as well. So
I loved meeting the both of you so gracious, giving me a tour. They're making connections. But one of my favorite parts was we were going to go for a little walk. And she said, David, you can't take him on there. They got the red dirt. He's got his nice shoes. Like, you can't take him on there. And you were like, oh, I didn't even,
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm not going to lie. I married up. And she truly was my better half, and I married up. And, I was doing pretty good. And, she's really outshone me. She's just an awesome leader and a great principal. Maybe someday we can both come back. Who knows?
That's right.
We'll see how this goes today, if I'm invited back or not.
Absolutely, David. Absolutely. Listen, you're talking about making connections.
Yeah.
You're a connected educator outside of your neighborhood, outside of your school district. You're heavily involved as the president of the UAESP, the Utah Association. You're the president this year. And you're also heavily involved in NAESP, the national organization. Tell me about those connections. Was that something you did right away in 2007, get right involved with it? How did you, work your way up to become the president and getting involved with your state leadership organization?
Oh, great question. The Davis District, we're the second largest school district in the state of Utah with about 74,000 kids.
Wow.
And the largest is Alpine School District in Utah County. They have like 85,000 kids.
Wow.
So I'm blessed in that in most of the major districts in the state will pay the dues for both the state level and the national level. So from the beginning, I was encouraged to be a member. It was paid for, and I was encouraged to participate and go. And I've loved it ever since. And I got to a point where I was asked to be the president, and actually voted by my peers to be the president of our district chapter, the Davis Association of Elementary School Principals. And I did that for a year, and that was a lot of fun. And again, we were always looking at how we could help make connections with our principals. One of the things we like to do, and sometimes we still do, is we'd say, okay, who's doing recess before lunch or structured recess? Meet over here, and then you can share ideas of what you're doing, or ask principals who are already doing this to give them that opportunity. Or what are you doing with your school with STEM learning, or multi-tier systems of support? And then people could go and talk and give them that opportunity for that networking and collaboration. So I did that 1 year. And then the next year I was invited by the then current president of the state association to be his secretary. And funny thing is, and he was a principal out of Alpine School District, but he's originally from Albany, New York. So we had a New York connection out here.
There you go.
Ellison Park, he's a great guy. He's just retired this year, and now he's working with BYU in their educational leadership department, their School of Education. So props to Jason for bringing me in. And then, something happened in 2019. And then shortly after that, I was invited to run to be the vice president. So I went through that election cycle in 2019 with two other gentlemen. The way our association is set up, we have three different leaders: the vice president, the president-elect, and the president. And one will always be from small districts, meaning 7 elementary schools or less. The next level, the mid-size group, is going to be anywhere from like 8 to 20, 23, or 25 elementary schools in the district. And then the large districts is that 25 or 26 or more. And my district has 63 elementary schools.
Wow. Wow.
Well, so needless to say, I'm a large elementary guy, a large school guy.
Wow. So how has it been, right? You've gone from vice president to president-elect, and now you're the president. How is that journey? What are some things that you've learned over the years working at that level?
Again, I've just really been impressed with the quality of leaders that I've seen across the state of Utah. The things that they're doing, the things that they're bringing to the table to help kids, to support their teachers, it's just remarkable. And I'm always sitting there trying to write something down and put it in my pocket and bring it back with me and say, how can I take that idea and implement it in my school? But I just love how our executive director has created this opportunity to bring in, because that's how we met, right, Andrew? Dwight, got a lead on you, and then worked out an opportunity for you to come with us. And I love that part of those deals that he's working out is we actually get the books, and we get to read and to hear this. And we're getting high caliber presenters that are coming to our state. And it's just been outstanding. It's just been incredible.
Yeah. And it was so nice too to be able to spend time. We got to meet with your team the night before and spend a little time. Again, you gave me the tour, and
that was fun. It kind of felt like an episode of Seinfeld, comedians in cars, New Yorkers in cars, just driving around. And then it's like, oh, I got to go pick up my wife. Let's go. We'll take the back way. Let's go get her.
I loved it. And then the SIP,
right? Casey and Melissa. That was fun.
It was so fun learning about the SIPs and the soda and just all the different points of the culture. And it was so funny. Those ladies brought the SIPs to me during the thing. A lot of fun.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Utah is known for its large drinks. And we just don't have a large soda. You've got to put something in that soda. So flavors, whether it's, coconut and a lime in a Coke, or raspberry peach Dr. Pepper with some half and half cream. I mean, they get pretty exotic.
It was a
Make it
lot of fun and great people. If you're watching the show live, jump in and say hello. Whether you're from Utah, whether you're from Syracuse, let us know. Say hello.
Yeah.
And throw a question at David here. David, in addition to being the president, in 19, you were the principal of the year from Utah, elementary principal of the year. An incredible, tribute to you and your leadership. What was that journey like?
I was assigned to a school in state turnaround. The leader before had created the plan. Phenomenal leader. And his skills were needed somewhere else in the district. And then they brought me in, and I was able to work with my school team. And together we were able to get out of state turnaround. And that year when we got out of state turnaround, the way the process works is I was voted in my district as receiving that award of, National Distinguished Principal from the district. And then it went to the state, and you submit an application of the things that you've done, your body of work, your resume, and then a selection committee goes through and looks at the body of work from all the applicants from across the state that have turned in applications. And I was quite surprised and honored that I was selected to be the National Distinguished Principal or Principal of the Year, because the National Association calls it National Distinguished Principal, but it really is the Principal of the Year award is what it really boils down to. And that was exciting. In fact, my superintendent at the time said, don't come back unless you win the national level, because I went to DC. And I said, oh, but it doesn't work like that. We don't have like a thing. Everybody from the 50 states goes back to be recognized. And I'm the National Distinguished Principal for the state of Utah. But he thought it was like the secondary where they kind of have this big election on their end, and that's not how it works. But it was really quite the honor. I got to meet Betsy DeVos, the then current Secretary of Education. Got to meet her number two, who was from Florida, whose name is absolutely slipping my mind right now, but he was incredible too. I really enjoyed meeting him and hearing what his message, because he went from being a fifth grade teacher to, the state, I want to say state superintendent, but he was a big guy in the state of Florida, and then being the number two at the national level. So he was just
you got to go to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, went to Washington, D.C. for that award ceremony.
Very cool. David, as a principal, you speak all the time, PTA meetings, faculty meetings. Do you like the big speech in front of hundreds of principals at the conferences? Do you like that stage like that?
I'm not afraid of it, but it's not my favorite thing in the world. I'd rather talk to a small group than do the big thing. But we're principals. We just do whatever's needed to be done, right? We're some days we're mopping the floor because somebody spilled the chocolate milk. Next minute we're like wiping the table or helping somebody, with some schmutz on their face, right? We just do whatever needs to be done.
That's a Syracuse word right there, schmutz.
Yeah, that's the Yiddish word of the day right there.
I love it. David, you had a wonderful part of your life here. Again, you're married to your wife, who's also a principal, 4 children. Your son is a teacher in the district where you are, 2 grandkids. It's a beautiful spot there. Got to give a shout out to Josie and Violet if they're watching.
The grandgirls. Yeah, we love them.
Looking at where you are in your life, how does it feel to look, again, 4 children, a career here, almost 20 years as a principal? It's got to feel good looking back at some of these things that you have now in front of you. All through college, my dad was, because my parents were both educators. They're both were retired teachers in Syracuse City School District. Mom taught 3rd grade. Dad was junior high and high school math science. He would always say, get a teaching certificate, son. Education's always been good to your mother and me. And I'm like, you know what, Dad? I don't want to do it. I don't want anything to do with education. Thanks, but no thanks. And long story short, I graduated from school without that. I got a job. I was working, got up to become a manager in a meat company.
I'm selling meat and roast beef, corned beef, pastrami, prime rib.
Is this in Syracuse? You're still in Syracuse?
No, I'm in Utah now.
You're here.
And I got called had a normal sales meeting scheduled. I go in and the boss said, all right, we're letting you, 2 other managers, and 20 production workers go. Tell me what's going on in your sales area, and we don't want to pay you after this week. And I called my dad, and that empathetic man said, first words out of his mouth, don't you wish you had that teaching minor, son?
Wow.
And long story short, I had another layoff with the merger of US West and Quest, creating the big conglomerate. And I decided, okay, I want to go into education. And like I said, education wasn't my first path in life. But I followed that opportunity, like Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs says, and boy, it has become my passion. I absolutely love it. Dad was right. He knew this would be good for me. And I'll tell you what, it has been an exciting ride to be here and to really have found through this opportunity, my passion in education.
Yeah. I think it's so important. Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think it's so important that people have had a different experience doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
What are some takeaways? What are some maybe skills that you brought from those businesses and from those interactions that you now use as a principal?
You know, listening. You know, I always try to listen to what people have to say. Sometimes I may not be the best at it, but I'm always trying to listen to what people have to say, to try to find the win-win in whatever the situation is, so that we can all, again, work together to move forward, because this might be the incident here, but we're going to be working together long after whatever the incident we're trying to resolve is. So how do we come together in a way that we can all move forward, have that win-win, and do what's best for kids at the same time? Because that's why we're here.
Absolutely. I love it. David, you mentioned the word passion. You got to be passionate about what you're doing. But you live in a beautiful part of the country. We were out there. It was exceptional weather. Being outside, things like that. What are some passions outside education that help keep you going and motivate you, and some wellness things there? So what are some things you like to do outside of school?
Yeah, well, number one, I'm spending as much time as I can with my smoking hot wife, Melissa. I just love being with her. I love hanging out with her. I'll catch a little flack from that, I'm sure, but I just love saying that. But she's beautiful. I love her. We've been married. We're coming up on 33 years now.
Wow.
33 years. So I just love spending time with her. We love spending time with our family. Anytime we can get together, we like to celebrate with food. So we're always cooking something. We're always eating something, or we're going out to get that. We do like to travel when we can, some with and without our family. You know, we went to Cancun over the summer, but we didn't bring the kids. But before that, we took them to Disneyland, and that was fun, and especially with the grandkids in Disneyland. That was amazing to see their faces there. So we like to travel. We don't always go for walks, but we like to walk when we can, when we're not too tired. And we bought some e-bikes last fall. It's been too hot in the summer to ride them, but we're looking forward to a cooler fall to get back on them.
Nice. And do you ski? Are you near skiing?
You know, I'm very close to skiing, but no, I'm not a skier. I skied in high school. I skied a little bit in college, but then I got married and had a kid and couldn't afford it. And now I'm old. And my knees are too important.
Yes.
I don't need an accident.
Very true there. True. David, again, if you're watching live, jump in and say hello. I've been doing this a long time, being a principal since 2007. What is some advice? What are some things that you might offer a younger educator who's saying, I'm curious about being a principal. I think I could do it. What would you say to that young person that's thinking about being a principal?
The first thing I'd say is, remember, you've got to be a strong teacher and leader in your classroom and in your building. And then you take that with you and come to the principal's office. And when you keep your teachers in mind and remember what that is, it's going to help you a lot. It really is. But yeah, if you're thinking about coming to be an administrator, go take the classes, because when the door or the opportunity comes, you want to be ready to walk through the door. And that was the advice that was given to me. Like, go take the classes, and when the opportunity comes, be ready for it. And it happened a lot faster than I thought it would. It really did. I've only met one other person where it happened as quick as it did with me. But I
Wow.
appreciate his advice, and it's been a great career. It's been a great career, and I've loved every minute of
Wow.
being a principal.
And so you had gotten the certification and an opportunity came pretty quickly?
It did. After my third year in the classroom, my fourth year, I was an administrative intern, or like an assistant, but being paid a teacher wage. My fourth year, and then the fifth year, I was the principal of Tolman Elementary.
Wow.
So my fifth year in education, it went fast. And there's only one other guy in the district I know of, a friend of mine whose career went that fast.
Wow. Very cool. Again, speaking about Utah and again, outside, skiing, you guys got the Olympics coming up there. What a great thing for
Yeah,
skiing.
yeah. That's exciting to have the Olympics coming back. I was here in 2002 for the first one.
Okay.
And it was just so much fun. And
so
now
is it 2 years now, or it's not this next one, or when is
it? It's in 34.
34.
So
Okay.
2034, the Olympics will be here.
And how far is Salt Lake City from you? Is that like?
I live just outside of Ogden, so I'm about, I don't know, 45 minutes away. I'm not that far, but just over the mountains from where I live, just out my doors, because I can see them out from my window. I'm looking at here, Snow Basin's just up there, which has some of the downhill stuff, and the curling is up here in Ogden, and the Weber.
So how will that impact your school? How will that impact your community?
I'm sure, like, the last time tickets were given to some of the elementary kids to go to some of the events. So I'm hoping again that I should still be around, that we'll be able to take some kids to some events and do some fun things. So, and hopefully families will do some of the fun things and take their kids down to be a part of the ceremonies and the things that are happening and the events happening in and around Salt Lake City. So it should be exciting. I'm very excited for it.
Very cool, man. Very cool. David, something you want to talk about that I didn't ask you?
Just to give a shout out to the Utah Association of Elementary School Principals. Keep it up, my friends. You're doing great. And if you're not a member of the National Association of Elementary School Principals, NAESP, join, come on in and be a part of it. And if you're a secondary principal, join NAESP. I'll tell you what, we had our first conference together in a long time, United. It was this last year in Nashville. I was so excited to go and be a part of that. Next year, we're going to be in Washington. So plan now, work with your districts, and come out and join us in the state of Washington. I believe it's Seattle next year. Come be a part of the United Conference and represent the associations and learn and collaborate, make friends, and make those connections and share those ideas. So come join.
I second that. What an amazing event, incredible organizations coming together. I thought that was a great idea. They did that.
Yeah, it was awesome. And Nashville was a fun place to do it in.
I could imagine. Yeah. Nice. David, my theme is surviving and thriving. I love it.
Yeah.
And one day it's up, the next day it's down. I'm going to take out the word and now there's a blank there. What habit, what strategy, what mindset, what action are you putting in there instead of just surviving to thrive?
What action am I putting in to be thriving?
Yeah. What would you, if I'm taking out the word and you could put a habit, an action, a strategy, what are you putting in there?
Oh, let's see. Showing up, being there, being intentional. That's what it is. That intentionality of the things that we do, and remembering your why, and just being there and helping your teachers so they can be successful, so they can help the kids. That's what it's about.
I love it. Showing up. I think that's great. I love it. David, let's get to rapid fire. These are going to be quick questions. The first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Last book you read?
What was this? Firestorm, Clive Cussler.
Oh, you like him.
I like Clive Cussler.
It's like the spy kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's got the Isaac Bell, which is more the turn of the century detective thing. But I like him. I like Dirk Pitt going to the ocean nautical stuff. And I also like Juan Cabrillo. That's my favorite. The secret agents with the specialized secret ops. Yeah.
Dude, Clive Cussler's written how many books? 100? I mean,
at least. At least. He's written a lot of books, and then he's got his son writing books with him. You're like me. It's the family business. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, there's all those leadership books out there, right? I love those stories, Clive. I love John Grisham. I love Michael Crichton. All of them. Yeah.
Those are fun stuff.
Last movie you saw?
We started watching Twisters today, streaming it, my wife and I.
Okay.
And we're getting a little sleepy, so we turned it off. Like, we'll finish it later.
Oh, it wasn't good.
No, it was good. We were just tired.
Okay. Last concert you went to?
Oh, you ready?
I'm ready.
Grand Ole Opry at Nashville. It was awesome.
You went out there?
Yeah, we were out there and we got to go to the Opry twice. Vince Gill headlined one night and Chris Young the second night. So we got to see two shows. It was awesome. And it was moving because it was right after Joe from the Oak Ridge Boys passed away. So Vince and two of the Oak Ridge Boys and the Joe's family were there, and they sang Elvira. It was just heartwarming.
Wow.
It was awesome. Yeah.
That is an amazing place. That whole the hotel, the whole thing there was incredible.
Yeah. It was awesome to go to the Gaylord and all that. Yeah, it was wonderful.
Very cool. Favorite dish? You mentioned being a foodie. What's your favorite dish?
I love all things Italian food. I love Chinese food, and I love meat and potatoes. I just can't narrow it down. But really, if I'm going to be honest, Andrew, here's the thing: if it's from the sea, it's not for me. If it's from the land, it goes in my hand.
I love it. If you're cooking, what's your favorite dish to cook?
Oh, my favorite dish to cook. I love making smash burgers with my boys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's where you press it with the thing?
Yeah, you press it down. So This summer for Father's Day, my wife and kids got me a Blackstone griddle, and I love that. But I also have my smoker, my Camp Chef smoker, and I love to smoke some meat on there.
And you with the burgers, you're adding stuff in it. You got onions, all that kind of stuff in it.
We haven't done the stuffed burgers, but we put all the stuff on the toppings on it.
Nice. You mentioned traveling a lot. You mentioned Cancun. Where's your favorite place to travel?
Anywhere where my wife is going.
Oh, beautiful answer.
We could be Hobby Lobby. I don't care. If she's there, I just want to be with her.
Dude, I love Hobby Lobby.
Oh, you got all kinds of stuff there.
All kinds of stuff. Favorite singer?
Oh, how can you reduce me to just one? We're going to say Billy Joel. I've been listening to the Billy Joel channel on XM Radio. So Billy Joel.
Do you love the new song?
I haven't heard his new song yet, but
turn the lights back on, or leave the lights back on, or something. Turn the lights on. Check it out.
I'll go listen for it. I haven't heard it on his channel yet. Beautiful.
You're gonna love it. I love it. If you're getting up there to sing, what's your karaoke song?
Okay, we haven't talked about this. I'm going to tell you, and I know it's rapid fire, but it's worth the story.
Give it to me.
About 10 years ago, the current superintendent came to me because I was in a band with some friends, and he said, put together a principal band for leadership. Well, that principal band called Principal Distraction is still playing today. And one of the songs that we play, that I sing, is Taking Care of Business by Bachman Turner Overdrive. And we changed the lyrics to one of the songs, and it goes like this. If you ever get annoyed, look at us. We're Davis employed. We love to work at learning all day because we're taking care of business. Yeah.
Nice.
I'll have to send you we have a Facebook channel. I'll have to send you some links. Again, the people in the band are really good. They put up with me, and we just do our thing. In fact, we just played at the Weber County Fair a couple of weeks ago.
Very cool. Principal distraction. I love it.
Principal distraction.
This summer, your summer's over, so I'm going to say this summer you did fill in the blank. What'd you do this summer? What's something that stood out?
Something that stood out was going to that United Conference with the state leadership team. But I also had the opportunity to go to the Professional Learning Communities Conference with a team from my school, and my wife brought a team. We were down at Fort Worth, and that was just awesome to go and learn. And again, take that our guiding coalition there and work and learn together so we can come back and share what we've learned with our faculty.
What's a pet peeve of yours?
Leaving the door open when the air conditioning's on. Close the door.
Oh my God.
Isn't that's like one of the top 5 dad pet peeves, right?
The lights, the air, the water, the shower,
everything. Turn it off and shut it.
You got Syracuse's finest here. When I say orange, what do you think of?
Jim Boeheim, Cuse basketball, Carrier Dome.
I love it. I love it.
Varsity Pizza.
Have you seen I'm sure you've seen it, but you haven't been there in person yet, the new dome, the design.
No, I haven't seen the new one. But I was there when the old one opened. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Beautiful site there in Syracuse for sure. At 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, I feel fill in the blank.
I feel happy because I'm home. Had a great week at work, and I'm just ready to get some things done around the house to start Monday all over again.
One thing you're curious about.
How do they get all that like stuffing inside of a Pop-Tart? That's just magical.
You've got to watch Seinfeld's movie. Seinfeld did a movie with that.
Did he really?
Yeah, it's called just Google. It was on Netflix.
All right, I'm gonna look for it.
Yeah, Pop-Tart. He did a movie about it. Yeah, it was funny.
I just like Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Well, who doesn't? Who doesn't?
You'll love the movie then. You got to watch it.
Okay, I'm gonna look for it.
Something about David Pendergast that people do not know about.
Oh, something about me that people don't know about. Well, you all just know I'm in a band. Because we didn't talk about that before. I'm just I guess in my old age, I'm getting a lot more sensitive than I thought. In fact, I tell kids sometimes I'll sit there, I'll cry. Something will be happening. I'll start crying. And I said, hey, I got an image to protect. So don't tell people I'm sitting in the office crying.
I love it. David, this has been fun. I am a quote guy, David. What's a quote you have that we could end the show on? What's something that resonates with you?
Oh, how about the master of words himself, Mr. John Wooden? If I am through learning, I am through.
Wow. If I'm through learning, I am through. I love it. John Wooden.
John Wooden.
Beautiful. David, if people want to learn more about the Utah Association and National Association, they want to get in touch with you, what's the best way they can get in touch with you?
If you want to learn more about the Utah Association of Elementary School Principals, go to UAESP.org. If you want to learn more about the National Association of Elementary School Principals, go to NAESP.org. If you want to learn more about me, go see a doctor and go work that out. So if you want to learn more about me, I'm on Facebook, or you can look for Ellison Park Elementary and email me directly. But I think you've got or Facebook me, message me. I'm horrible with social media, but do it, and eventually I'll get there. I still have birthdays to thank from
David. I hope you'll post some principal distraction links in the show.
Yeah, I'll send you something.
Yeah, very cool. Well, friends, this was David Pendergast. Again, they've opened school. If you are getting ready to open school, maybe you're starting tomorrow. August 19th for some people. Pennsylvania is the following week on the 24th. So we wish all of our educators a great start to their year. David, thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you. It's an honor being here. Thank you, Andrew.
It was fun, man. I appreciate you.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. We'll get Melissa on here soon.
Okay, sounds great.
Stay on the line, David. If I can help
will.
you in any way, friends, don't hesitate to reach out. My email is andrewmarana@llc@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. And again, leave David some comments, some positive comments in the notes. And David, we will see each other soon, my friend.
Oh, that sounds great. Thank you.
Keep surviving and thriving, friends. David, stay on.